Hello and welcome viewers. You're watching this special presentation of Sansad TV with your host Kriti Mishra. Today we have a very special guest in the studio with us. She is the first woman and the youngest person to serve as President of the House of Representatives of Republic of Cyprus. She was elected in 2016 and re-elected in 2021. She is an ambassador of the Global Network of Women Politicians, Women Political Leaders and represents Cyprus in the Inter-Parliamentary Union. Viewers, let's welcome Ms. Annita Demetriou, President of the House of Representatives of Cyprus. Madam, delighted to have you in our studio.
Delighted.
Such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much. Delighted to be here in beautiful India. Thank you so much for your hospitality and your invitation to be here.
Thanks a lot. Excellency, let me begin by asking you about your impressions, about your experiences of visiting India and particularly your impressions of parliamentary engagements in India so far.
Outstanding. I think it's different, as I said to you earlier before we get on air, it's different to read or listen about India and completely different to taste, feel, experience India. We're grateful about this parliamentary visit. After 30 years, we managed to have this historical visit. And I think now it is the ideal timing to upscale even more the relations between our countries. Cyprus and India is not by luck. They cherish more than 5 decades of diplomatic relations between us. And I think that especially now, because we do believe in the collaboration of Europe-India, it is ideal, the timing to do more at a bilateral and at a European level as well.
Absolutely. And talking about the parliamentary diplomacy in the changing global order, how important is this diplomacy and how do you see the cooperation, particularly parliamentary cooperation between India and Cyprus?
Extremely important, I would rather say, because it comes to add to the strategy of the governments of our countries. For example, it was historical, the visit of your Prime Minister in Cyprus before 1 year and a half. So after that, we decided that now the Parliament needs to come to add to this strategy and especially to the joint agreement plan that was decided. And today, exactly, we discussed with my counterpart, my colleague, the Speaker, that we need to add this to the parliamentary level as well. So we do believe, yes, it's very important to come as parliaments to assist our governments, our Prime Minister in the case, and our President to the direction that we want to improve even more the relations between our countries. And sky's the limit to the more things we can do in a lot of sectors: energy, safety, defense, trade, education, shipping, and of course connectivity. And I think we need to start with the last one.
Well, absolutely, connectivity, and of course that is reflected in the high-level diplomatic visits between the two countries. And also talking about the relationship between India and Cyprus. We share long-standing diplomatic ties based on mutual respect and democratic values and traditions. How do you see the future trajectory of relationship, of growth, of potential between the two nations?
I think the future will it's only prosperous, and if we manage to be, to be reliant, compliant to our principles. And this is exactly what we need to realize today, especially because we are living in very, let's say, difficult political times. Cyprus and India, they are democracies that suffer enough. They used to be under the British colony, they gain and they deserve their democracy, but nothing is forgiven, not even our democracies. That is why we believe that especially today, with all this negativism and all this propaganda, we need to answer with more democracy, more compliance to what we represent and what we stand for, and protect our democracies. And this is where exactly the synergies with countries and important allies like India emerged. And this is why we are here. And I do believe that, yes, the future, and we need to give that hope to the people, will only be prosperous because we have such strong friends and allies like India, and because we have no other option but to insist to our values and our principles. Is what Mahatma Gandhi said, a true spiritual leader, that in the end of the day we need to think what we represent, and we need to keep serving people and fighting for every single citizen to feel the hope and feel the hope for a better future.
Absolutely. So you're talking about citizen-centric approach of governments, of institutions, and as head of a key constitutional institution in Cyprus, how do you see the role of parliaments in enhancing transparency, in enhancing citizens' engagement, and also fortifying governance and democracy?
It's crucial, and I think we need to realize that the laws or the parliaments is not something static. We have our constitution, for example, and we follow that. And by the way, happy Constitutions Day. It was just yesterday, your constitutional day, but still I need to say that in Cyprus, and of course we discussed that in the parliament as well, according to the challenges and the demands of the citizens, we are trying to improve either our laws or the way we are operating. But still, in the bottom line, we need to find the ways to be close to citizens. This is our job. This is why we are there. This is what we represent. And this is the scope of being part of politics. And I think this is exactly our mission. And this is what we are doing every day.
Absolutely. I'll shift focus to the global problems now. In a rapidly changing geopolitical environment, how do you see the role of the two nations, Cyprus and India, coming together, jointly addressing these problems? And what are the most pressing global challenges according to you?
I will start with the last one. Now we need to face this uncertainty and this war agenda. You know, in my country, after 5 decades, still we are facing the consequences of an illegal invasion and ongoing occupation. So we know best as Cypriots that we need to defend our sovereignty and our country, and no one has the right to interfere or invade to another country with the use of force. And that is why we believe after what happened in Ukraine, what happened in Gaza, that peace, stability and security, and especially in our region, is crucial. And that is why we believe that Cyprus can be a catalyst to what we aspire. And this is where India can emerge, I mean, as a strong, important ally that will protect our values and principles. And of course, I'm talking about the European Union. India, and of course I'm a strong supporter of the financial trade agreement and of course of IMEC, is that in the end of the day we need to lead, and we need to show that through those synergies we will be able to confront the energy issues, the safety issues, the peace issues, and of course the democracy issues. Because it's not because it's big India we have chosen just for that. It's because it's one of the democracies we respect, and one of the democracies that respect us and with the same values and principles. And this is where I think now it is the time between us to do more.
Absolutely. To do more, and let me talk about those avenues. Cultural exchange, tourism, education. They serve as very important bridges between the two nations. How do we enhance cooperation in these areas?
In the joint agreement, there is a roadmap about them, but at the same level as parliaments, we already discussed some. And also, I'm already invited to a business meeting that you're going to have here, and vice versa. I think that if it is a priority, we will find the ways to do so. Education, trade, all these that in the end of the day, will bring us one step closer to our goal to improve the relations between our countries and our people. We already have a lot of Indians people in Cyprus, but still we want to have more, and we invite all the people to come to visit our beautiful island. I think it's really amazing, and vice versa, we recommend India to the people of Cyprus. It's really a life experience to be here.
So wonderful to hear that. But talking about other areas, digital transformation, digital revolution, green energy push of India, how do you see these areas, and how do you see the emerging opportunities in these areas?
Look, there are a lot of opportunities, and I think because now Cyprus will have the presidency of the European Union from January until May, one of the one of the priorities, the chapters we will discuss is about energy, is about AI. So I think that experts and professionals from India can assist us on that, and at that point you see what more we can do in order to confront a very difficult and demanding new chapter in our lives. Because when we are talking about AI, something that now it's implemented in our life, and this is where we are trying to figure out as parliaments as well how we're gonna create the legislative part, which is not easy at all. Bear in mind that at the European Parliament, it was only last year that we managed to have the first law enactments about it. So it is time us to discuss that together. But I will insist that together is always better. I mean, when when you're discussing with your counterparts in other countries such as India, what they are doing, how they are operating, there is where we can gain knowledge from good practices and also in consensus to find the best ways to operate.
Well, absolutely. Can't second you more on that one. And shifting focus to your personal experiences, you're one of the most prominent women leaders in Europe. What is your message to other aspiring women who are seeing leadership roles in future?
To insist, to dream, to dare to dream, not to let anyone to tell them they can't, because they do. In the end of the day, I believe that nothing is forgiven in our life, and I know that we are living a very difficult life, but we need to struggle, we need to fight, we need to insist to what we represent, we need to insist to what we believe. And in the end of the day, when you want something, then yes, the whole universe will come across to your pathway to support you on that. Even if we don't manage in the end to have the outcome we want, it's important the effort as well. And this is where I want to say that women can be not only part of the decision-making process, but be part of the future we want to see in the world. Without them, we can. So I know, and you have enacted a very important historical, as your President of India said to me when we had the meeting the other days, legislative act about the participation of women, and well done. In my country, we need to do more. And in the end of the day, the equal representation of the society is the key for the democracy to survive. And this is what we have to bear in mind. Giving an opportunity to a young girl or a woman or a young person, it's like giving a hope to the future. And this is where our responsibility stands. And I'm sure that the future with more women and young people is only more prosperous and more fair.
So you're saying perseverance is the key for all the women leaders out there?
Yes, participation, opportunities, and then yes, just to insist to say what we believe, because I will say that as well. I don't believe that there is a right or wrong position. It's just the position, and that your ability to support that and to convince the people that you are there for a good cause, and in the end of the day, you will be rewarded for that.
Absolutely. And finally, Excellency, before we wrap up this conversation, what is your message to the people of India, to Friends of India, and to the parliamentary community watching this interaction?
That they should be really proud about their heritage, about their country, about their democracy, and that to know that they have a true friend in the Mediterranean, and that is my country, Cyprus. And I hope and I'm sure that we will find the ways to improve our relations even more. That will be a great success for both of us.
Long live our friendship. On that very sanguine note, thank you so much for joining us.
Well said. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Well, viewers, that's all we had for you in this edition. Keep watching Sansad TV.
संसद टीवी के और भी प्रोग्राम्स देखने के लिए सब्सक्राइब करें हमारा YouTube चैनल और हाँ, इन्हें लाइक और शेयर करना ना भूलें।